live. Welcome back to Voyage of the Fallen Star. My name is Zach. I'll be your GM. We have adventures at Giant Spur, a massive mountain that our crew is climbing. They've been climbing for days, of course, resting here and there. They are now nearly 13,000 feet or so in elevation. The constant wind is chilling. But before we get into all that, we're gonna talk about some new house rules that I came across recently by the Dungeon Coach. I'm not fancy enough to put in any links or anything. You have to find them on your own. But I thought he introduced this cool mechanic of expanding the idea of armor class to be a range, so you not just have a binary success-failure system, but you have basically glancing blows. So the way it works is, in addition to your armor class calculated normally, you have an evasion class, which is basically determined by your dexterity and what kind of armor you're wearing. So of course, the heavier the armor, the less your dexterity is going to affect your EC. So basically, the heavier armor, the lower your EC, and therefore the wider range your overall armor class is going to be, right? The chance to score a glancing blow is going to be wider when you have a low EC but a high AC, right? Which would be given to you by, heavier armors in a lot of cases.
I'm sorry, my cat just jumped off the desk and knocked over a plant and made an enormous mess. I may be just in and out.
It's okay. It's okay. It's only rules. We'll
I'm not going to remember them anyway.
Yeah, Austin's not going to remember them anyway.
Right. Yeah. Well, here's what we can do. Everyone can now go ahead and calculate your EC, your evasion class, right now, and mark it somewhere on your sheet. So, the way you calculate it, right, is by looking at your armor. And so if you're wearing, depending on your armor type, it's 10 plus some amount of dex, or not if you're wearing heavy armor. Now, the complement to this mechanic, right, the expanded armor class, is the, I didn't put in the full name, the armor reduction mechanic. To having this range of armor class, as I said, all right. So as normal, right? If an attack exceeds your armor class, it's a hit. Damage is normal. Blah blah blah, as was always the case. However, if you hit the person between their EC and AC values, right, which could be no different if you say have a monk or very dexy rogue kind of build. So there could be very little difference in EC and AC. But with heavier armors, right, as I said, you're going to have a larger difference there. And so you look at the difference between your AC and EC. So you take your armor class, which is always going to be higher. You take your armor class and you subtract your evasion class, and then you add your proficiency bonus. So everyone just gets a little better over time, and this gives you your AR armor reduction score, which will be, whenever you take a glancing hit, you reduce the amount of damage you take by your armor reduction score. So it's like it's a basic damage reduction based on what kind of armor you're wearing. Shields add to your both AC and EC, but don't count towards your damage reduction. So they help you avoid attacks in both senses, but don't actually reduce damage coming in unless you use a special reaction. We won't get into all of that. All right.
Well, let's start calculating.
Yes. So does everyone know what kind of armor they wear? What class of armor? Medium, heavy, light?
Pain shirt is medium, right?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. And so add the appropriate dexterity modifier, or none in the case of Kylan.
I have evasion class 11, and my armor class is 13. So, just to go through it, so my armor, that would make my armor reduction 13 minus 11 is 2, plus my proficiency of 2, so my armor reduction would be 4.
4.
All right. Cool.
So if someone attacks you and hits you with an 11, 12, or 13, right, you're going to take...
Does it also trigger a glancing if it equals regular
right.
AC?
Yeah, it has to exceed to do the normal hit in
Got
this
it.
rule. So I guess it is slightly different from past. But figure, like, you know, you're just getting them at their armor class. So it's, like, still part of that glancing blow.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So now that, yeah, so Bungo, right? You got your EC and AR figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, depending, right? Of course, feats or items or whatever might add to your AC or things like that. But whether they translate to your armor reduction is sort of dependent on the item. So
Sure.
say like a cloak of protection, right? Because that's its explicit purpose, right? Would also increase your AR. But you know, maybe some spell effect or whatever might not.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you know, I don't want to get too wibbly wobbly with the mechanics, right?
Yeah.
You know, having an AR being like a pretty passive score that's not going to fluctuate a lot is sort of the goal there,
right?
As well. So yeah, enemies will can also abide by this rule. It tends to be a lot of enemies. Their EC and AC are fairly equal, unless they're like super tanky, you know, dragons and whatnot. So, you know, sometimes there will be no glancing blows, right? If the creature's AC is based totally on their dex, right? Because I'm like, proficiency bonus. I'm not going to worry about that with the monsters kind of thing. Especially if they don't have a glancing range. So
technically, you would still glance them if we equal their AC, though, right?
I guess so.
I mean, it's up to you.
I mean, you know, on those rare instances, I'll make a call, I guess. Yeah. If it comes across my mind, I probably will. Okay, so that was that was AC and EC, right? Evasion class and armor reduction, AR. So how all those work together, hopefully, makes enough sense for the moment, and we'll continue as we go. And second, in this section, right, we have slight changes to two-weapon fighting and two-handed weapon use. So any weapon that is a quote-unquote two-handed weapon, right, as listed in its entry, so not versatile two-handed use. You add 1.5 times your strength, rounded down, or you know, to the damage. And with two-weapon fighting, right, instead of having to use a bonus action to strike with your offhand, we're gonna roll two-weapon fighting all into your action, right? Works pretty much the same as normal. Has to be light weapons, and you don't add your ability modifier to the offhand attack unless you have, you know, those class features and stuff that allow you to do so. So this basically frees up your bonus action to do other things, right? To use Bardic Inspiration, you know, and still shoot twice or whatever with your crossbows to, you know, analyze your opponent in your surgical manner, things like that. All right, and the last thing, right? Because well, that's a good benefit for the martial classes, right? Of being saving their bonus action with 2-weapon fighting and bonuses to their 10.5 damage. But what about casters? Well, I made a change to a previous house rule, which I now call Rapid Wards. So you may cast certain spells. Basically, I'm saying if it's a buff spell, I'm going to let most buff spells be cast as a bonus action instead of an action. So more buffing is good in my book because they don't get thrown around enough, and you know it's like, do I spend an action on the buff? Whereas this allows you to, you know, again, more flexibility. But right, they cannot have area effects. They can only be cast on yourself or allies, and cannot deal damage or restore hit points. To be so, I say typical examples: Bless, Fire Shield, Mirror Image, Warding Bond, things like that. Sweetness, do you have any questions about the evasion class?
I'm just looking through the notes now. So this reminds me of the Game of Thrones mechanics, or armor reduces damage.
Yeah. So it's right. It does, but in this it does both, right? Because it's both increasing your overall armor class and reducing damage. So yeah, it's a nice little mechanic that, yeah, it's gonna increase, you know, the small amounts of damage characters take over time, making short rests a little more, you know, dicey, right? It's like, oh, you know, I'm getting lower, but things like that. So yeah.
So yeah, I think I got it. Real quick, so my AC, I have unarmored defense.
Right.
It lets me add my intelligence and my
and dexterity.
So I have 16. That's my AC minus my EC, which is because I'm unarmored, is 10 plus my dex.
Right,
so
but so sorry, I guess I forgot to include here for unarmored feats, things like or features like that, like the monk or your class. You also add that to your EC. So your EC and AC are basically the same. So that means your AR, right, the amount of damage reduced by your armor is only 2, because it's your proficiency bonus. So you're harder to hit overall, right? You're not going to take like any glancing blows aside unless they hit exactly your armor class. But you don't.
And
have
this
much
is
reduction.
only for glancing blows.
Right. This only matters if they strike you between your EC value and your AC value. And since for you it's the same, your AC and EC are equal, it's only if they hit your exact armor class value do they score a glancing blow. Otherwise, they miss as normal or
they hit
as normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And of course, if you also have resistance to the incoming damage, that you take off after the armor reduction. So armor reduces, then you have resistance to damage. Now, of course, armor might not reduce all types of damage, like psychic or force damage, which are more, you know, non-physical in nature. So that's a factor, but, you know, a little less common that I need to add to the house.
I remember when we went over the Game of Thrones systems, liking that. Well, you're wearing more armor, you're easier to hit, but you reduce damage. I like those mechanics.
Yeah.
And then I'm also, the 2-weapon stuff applies
to you
as well, but I read through that and I think I got it.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. All right, so the last thing, just to, or now, of course, you don't have to use these, right? These you can integrate at your own speed, but some extra bonus actions and reactions for sort of melee combatants. So we won't go through those because there's a list, and they're a little more situational and so forth. Then there's a couple extra conditions. Again, unless they come up, we don't need to talk about those now. So let's get into the game, or a little more, shall we? As I said, I am Zach, your GM. Hello again. Kylum, played by Mark. How are you both doing?
Hey everybody, I haven't slept. Callan probably has though, so he's probably doing just fine. Yeah, I don't know. I think that we still are. Oh yeah, I remember where we left off, which is that we entered like a dungeon, kind of. It was like a cave that was like spooky,
Yeah.
evil. And I'm
Yeah.
excited to smite some stuff, which I believe I started doing at the end of last session, was a little bit of the old smiting.
Oh yeah.
And I have no need to stop. I don't see why I would.
You are also carrying that special golden holy symbol of Baaldor
Yes,
that
which
Bungo
I
is
figured
able to.
that does anything yet. I think Bungo assumed it did, and I trust in his bardic ways. But we'll see.
Well, let's throw it over to Bungo to see what his thoughts were, and then what his general thoughts are.
I make no guarantees about how accurate my bardic lore is. That's in the fine print. Yeah, no, I'm doing good. I'm excited to hopefully not die. We're in a bit of a sticky situation. I remember the captain is halfway to death's door.
Right,
and
he's got a
minotaur skeleton chasing us. But
as well
yeah, I'm
as
sure we'll overcome.
ashen figure hovering over the captain. Spectre of death, perhaps.
It's like some sort of shadow wraith type creature.
It's actually like coalesced out of loose ash that was all around this cavern. So it's like a sort of ashy specter.
Sure.
Yeah. So. And right, you gave that holy symbol to Kylum because I believe Omarin had maybe mentioned that it was keeping evil at bay. So, yeah. How about the captain? Yeah. How's the captain doing?
I mean, he's seen better days. The Minotaur just really, gave him a pounding, like a real intense one.
Right.
But,
hard halberd.
What was that?
A very hard halberd.
Yeah, exactly. And but he's got something. He feels good about these dust monsters. These are things he knows how to deal with.
Well, it's just one, so that's good.
No, that's good.
But remember, you also have a lingering injury.
Right.
Scored by this halberd, as well as sweetness.
Yes.
Yes, so we'll get to those on your turn. But yes, you took a vicious hit in one of your shoulders. I forget, you rolled for which one, I believe. I think it was your left shoulder, Omar. And yes, you are slowly losing blood from that terrible wound. And of course, just to remind you, if you magically heal such injuries, there are negative consequences to doing so, which is why sweetness is so invaluable on such journeys.
Speaking of?
Yeah, speaking of the other man or the other person, venturer who's bleeding.
A little surgery on himself. I don't actually remember what my injury was.
In the leg. You got hit, or in the groinish area somewhere down there.
Okay.
You're still intact as far as you know.
Okay.
But yes, it's for you. It might hamper your movement
That's
as
right.
you continue to bleed. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Sweetness is terrified. There are thousands. Are we miles in the air?
Yes, you are
Yeah, we're
probably
miles in the air.
13,000 feet, right? Yes, these caverns, remember, basically you climbed up like bunches of natural bridges and switchbacks up through this cleft in the spire, right? Which was, a nice out of the wind for a change, even though it's still coming through from the outside. Um, yes, but when you arrived at the top, right, you emerged into this open chamber, this carved chamber with columns, right, that have been supporting the ceiling. There's a large, giant-sized door at the far end that is shut. Um, and there are these pots around, which Kylam investigated and felt that they contained demonic ash or residue, demonic residue. Of a sort.
Yes. I remember all this, and yeah, we were investigating way over here when this awful Minotaur thing jumped off the wall, and I came to help.
Yes.
Promptly,
Skewered.
Yeah, skewered.
It reared back, and was able to charge you. Same thing. Bungo had frightened it away temporarily with his magic, but then it was able to just turn around and then charge the lonesome Omaran.
Yep. So I think Sweetness is well terrified, ready to cheer Kylam on to happy victory, swift victory. You've got this.
Yes. All right. We'll note that the Dracotor. Remember, it is a four-legged skeleton with the torso of a minotaur, right? Torso and head of a minotaur, but the lizard-like clawed four-legged lower body. So it seems to have a better grip on the stone and everything than a classic centaur would. So everybody, don't forget to impersonate your characters in Roll20. So we have all the portraits down there. And the captain is up first, so you need to make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw at the start of your turn for this lingering injury.
All right, DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Oh, yes, and also, while you have any lingering injuries, you have disadvantage on concentration checks. All right, so you fail. Let's see. So your attacks have disadvantage until the beginning of next turn, and just mark that as a death saving throw. Well, you might need those too. Mark that failure somewhere. Because if you get 3 failures, you've lost enough blood that you immediately fall unconscious.
Okay.
So you are, yes, bleeding out through that vicious shoulder wound. And you've got this ash spirit, which hasn't been able to touch you yet, but you can feel as it reaches towards you, it's just shedding tons of ash, and you fear might try to blind you.
Omaran is not afraid of such things because he can warding wind.
Ooh. Very nice. All right. So yeah,
Omaran
strong around you in a
hopes this will
10.
blow Lady Ash monster.
Well, so it blows around you in a 10-foot radius. So currently, the monster would be within the spell area, right? It's not getting blown by the wind, right?
The wind is on the outside of the 10-foot radius?
Well, no, the wind is like on the edge of the 10-foot radius. So until Omar moves a little farther, right, the edge of the wind where it's actually like blowing, unless I'm reading.
I assumed it was with you the whole way. I think it's all the way in.
Yeah, I mean, the way I would read this is that it's saying a 10-foot radius around you, not like a 10-foot ring.
Yeah.
it hedges out vapor, gas, and fog that can be dispersed by strong wind, so it blows that
Okay.
away.
I guess it does. Yeah, that's fair. All right. 10-foot radius. It's 20 feet total. All right. So let's. That's one. See. All right. So back. So what happens? Edges out. All right. So I'm gonna say, yeah, it's probably gonna need a check of some sort, maybe a Constitution check, in order to sort of maintain coherence. But this being such an effective tactic, it does have disadvantage. So, here we go. Oh. Oh, sorry. That wasn't
You
disadvantage.
gotta roll another dice, Zach.
That was one die. There we go. I think that second one fails, right?
It does. DC is 14.
All right. So she blows. Was your wind blowing clockwise or counterclockwise?
Are we north or south of the
It looks
equator?
like clockwise.
You're north, I think.
Just judging by the picture.
It does look like clockwise. Well,
Clockwise.
clockwise. All right. So it gets blown over here, being hedged out. It can no longer maintain coherency within your wind. And well, yeah, nice move, Captain.
And then I'm gonna like move as far away as possible from this stupid fucking. Actually, I'm gonna hide behind the
There's that pillar.
here. Yeah.
All right. Can't see the pillar with the wind, but all right. So your wind, yeah, and there's a lot. Again, there's this weirdly like a large amount of ash in this chamber. So your wind is just kicking it up, and actually, that's going to create a. It's going to give everything in the chamber light concealment from this ash being kicked everywhere. So this tiny whirlwind in this small contained space, and this fine ash, which only basically you get a penalty on perception checks to see stuff. All right. So the captain limps, taking cover behind a pillar, and his wind shielding him from this ashen figure. Sweets from across the way. You also need to make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Coming in hot.
Excellent. All right, so you withstand the effects. You quickly are like shoving gauze and whatever you can to staunch the bleeding.
Take off my belt
and so you're able to maintain your full speed.
Okay, God. I don't want it to be my turn.
You could delay if you want.
I don't want to fight this thing. So I see off to my left, right, the captain's. Am I able to make it through that to maybe try and give Captain a little respite, some healing, or will I also I'll have to make like a save?
No, you won't need to make a save, but it'll be it's difficult terrain for you to move, for other creatures to move through it, and you might need a concentration check in order to perform your first aid in such blustery conditions.
Okay, let's see. I think I should be able to make it over there with.
Yeah, you've got 40 feet normally, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, I Well, I'll have to use. I think. Sorry, both my. I'll have to use my both moves to get there. 40 feet, and then I would have to use a little bit more to get in, actually into him.
Yeah, because it costs 10 feet to move into that square there.
Yeah.
But as you were moving across,
Can I jump that gap?
yeah. Oh, the jump was no problem. It's the Dracator's halberd and its reach that you didn't account for. And it lashes out at you, but it's only able to get you once you're you're dashing behind the pillar there. So you do have cover. So it's +2 to your AC. And since he's not charging, that's a lot better for you.
Good.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Oh, wow!
Wow! He does not have a...
Snaps in half.
All right. It is magical, so...
The magic flies out of it.
Well, no, I'll say
I would want to loot that.
No, it impales, right? It was coming across. This pillar was already knocked over by the Minotaur earlier, right, when it charged. So it's kind of like jagging, it's got different... And it's coming across to try and get you, and it just lodges the halberd deep into the stone, such that now it is stuck, and the Minotaur cannot retrieve it.
Wow, double ones. Cool. All right, I imagine, like, jump, and he leaps over, and maybe a quick glance over his shoulder to see the Minotaur trying to struggle it out before
it's
and
it's pretty silent because it's a skeleton still.
Captain, I'm coming.
I'll say you reach the captain in time for enough for your first aid or whatever.
All right, I will. I'll roll you up some first aid here, buddy. It won't be much, but it's something.
Oh, and don't forget a concentration check. Just a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Should I do that first?
Yeah, do that first.
All right, here's hoping.
Ooh. All right. So I'm gonna say, healing is reduced by half.
Bummer.
Because some of as you're pulling things out, the wind catches them, and you're like, oh no.
There go the bandages. All right. Jeez. Yeah. 3.
But he adds another 4 on top of that for his hit dice.
Let's see. As an action, I'm trying to. He can add equal to his hit points or
Hit
not
dice.
To his hit
So 10, but halved is 5. So 5 hit points for Omarin.
Nice.
On his way back to health. You still both have the lingering injuries, obviously, but you're still going. Great. Well, this spirit sees, sees the situation sizing up. How there's 3 fresh adventurers over here, and the 2 wounded ones on the other side, but protected by, of course, their wind. So it sort of discorporates in just like this whirling ribbon of ash starts to just fly through. 3, 4, 5, 6, and reappears on the far side of the pillar, closer to our other friends. Says, I came to this place once long ago, and have rested here in a troubled troubled imprisonment for too long. If ashes I am, then dust you shall be. And, actually, he says, if dust we are, then ashes we are, dust you shall be. Speaking in the plural. Anyway, I need, the three of you, or everyone, rather, to make me charisma saving throws. Omarin and Sweetness have advantage for their wind effect.
Okay. Wow.
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 That's how you hurt the party. Charisma.
Uh,
Who has to make a Christmas saving throw?
Everybody.
Oh, everybody. I think it's... All right.
Alright, we got, Bungo and Kylam, I imagine, should be pretty good here.
yep. Two people with advantage.
Yeah.
Well, Bungo and I have. He somehow has a
Where is our
and I have a
useless
5.
dragonborn companion?
Just try being cooler.
He's here. He's got his dragon breath ready. He just needs to make a charisma saving throw, which he's not great at either.
It's like this is a cool kids table setup.
Sure. Oops. Wrong button. Okay, did it roll for him? Hey, found it. Alright. So, Sweetness and Omarin. You guys, well, maybe it was because of the whirlwind, it's hard to tell, but you suddenly feel like you can't get, well, Sweetness, you already had it, the taste of ash out of your mouths. And it's like, it's almost like penetrating deeper to your core, and suddenly a great thirst is welling up inside you, a thirst that might not be quenchable, you're feeling. So, on your turn, you must use any means at your disposal to drink from the closest source of liquid, determined randomly if necessary. And must succeed on a concentration check before casting spell or lose the spell. All you need to drink is at least one vial of any liquid. And if you know it's dangerous before drinking it, you may repeat the saving throw. And if 1 minute passes, it's not good.
So, like, can I just, like, take out my water skin and have a drink from that?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah, if... Well, you have been climbing all day.
Where does one get water up here?
Good point.
We definitely brought some with us. I mean, I think maybe we're getting at like how much do we have left?
Right. So, Captain, well, on your turn, right, when you do this, we'll have you make a survival check to see if you, got enough water. Actually, Varanus can create and destroy water.
So can Omarin. I have that spell prepared too.
Okay. So,
That, like right in your mouth. Right? If you had like a thirst thing, you'd be like, oh, create water.
Right,
water.
exactly. That's what
I'll drink it out of your mouth.
Your spell would create enough for both of you. So that's cool. All right. So the spirit does its thing, and we're on to Bungo. It's dry mouth, little dry mouth. Couldn't take the taste of adventure away from you, Bungo. You're muted.
Of course not.
Yeah.
So
you've got the Dracotor skeleton
Yes.
rearing back, fighting Kylum. Though it looks like it's pretty severely damaged right now, especially after Kylum's last smite. You know, its bones are like crumbling and cracked from the holy damage.
All right. I'm going to see if I can't finish it off. I will come over here and fire off my boomstick. 13.
That is a hit because it is its defenses, one of the new conditions, is down by 1, giving it -2 AC. So you do hit
Ow.
for 11 max damage on that roll.
Yup.
And oh, no, not and. Thought for a second it was bludgeoning, but it's piercing. All right, so your boomstick shatters one of its torso's, you know, arm bones. So now its torso only has one arm, but it had lost its halberd anyway. So it's just looking at you, glaring. Minotaur horns to Minotaur horns.
We'll see who the last bull standing is, Mister.
He is still standing. So.
Yeah, well, so am I.
Yeah. Speaking of which, it's the creature's turn.
Good luck, Mungo. At least you didn't have that fucking halberd.
Yes. But conveniently, you are nicely in charge range. So that's, you know, it just lowers its horns. And Kylum, you get an attack of opportunity.
Heck yeah. What a good opportunity this ends up being. Oh my gosh.
Good thing, because if it had its halberd, it wouldn't have left Kylum's reach. Halberd.
Ow!
Bam! Okay, anything else?
Attack opportunity, I assume I still can't do my second attack?
No, yeah, you still can't strike with because it's the attack action.
Right, that's what I figured. So that's all I got.
Well, I mean, smite-wise.
That's pretty good.
Oh, I could smite it.
Yeah.
I could smite it. I didn't even think of that. I only think of doing that on my turn. It never occurred to me. It does feel like it's making things a little too easy. I'll do it. I'll smite it. I'll spend a spell slot smiting it. All right, so we'll do doop. That's it.
Right.
This is good smite value right here. Good old-fashioned smite.
Yeah, baby. These sounds.
Let's see. That is...
Alright. Alright, I can take a break.
3d8 because it's undead. I gotta make sure I get the math right. Yes. Alright, here we go. Smite damage time.
Alright, here we go.
13.
23 total.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Your smite rips through it and its skeleton, and in your blast of holy fire, but it is not quite enough. You shatter its legs out from under it, but it still has the momentum to hit with its gore attack.
Die, fiend. I mean, die again.
And I'm going to spend story point on here to go advantage. Not that I needed it. 18 against Bungo.
Yeah, that's a hit for sure.
Right. 21 damage overall after the charge, and please make me a strength saving throw.
Okay.
Nice. All right, Bungo, you dig in your heels.
Huge creature.
Well, large. So you headbutt it back, charging, right, just enough to throw it off so it doesn't force you back towards the cliff edge behind you. But you do take a pretty savage strike, unless
do.
you've got silvery barbs or Bungo got anything left. You got to take the 21.
I do. Yeah, no, this feels like a good opportunity to barb.
All right, so I'll just re-roll the attack. Just the first result. Oh,
Oh gosh. Okay, so still a hit.
still a hit. So 21 damage. I think you'll need to end up rolling an injury as well. This thing is out for blood, but I need to go do dad things.
Sure.
So that allows the rest of you to confer about the situation.
And get beer.
Minotaur thing might be
Yeah.
a bad guy.
But I'll leave the stream running, so you guys can just...
Okay.
All right, Roger.
I mean, like, we have a cleric who can just turn undead, right?
No, we don't.
Oh no.
Bummer. Oh, well, I mean, it sounded like it might have been getting close to death.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Guys, you don't need a cleric. You have a paladin. It's
Well,
better
right.
to
Can you turn undead?
turn it into dust. Yeah.
Hmm.
You can turn it into smashed, right?
Yeah, and then it's just the one ash guy, which hopefully doesn't lead to more ash guys.
Oh yeah, I got nothing on that one though. You're on your own for Ash Guy.
Yeah. Well, sounds like is he not undead? It sounded kind of like he was undead.
I think he probably is, but like I don't know how punchable it is.
That's fair. Well, considering that I'm completely martial, we'll see how I do.
It'll be.
Yeah, I don't feel particularly worried, especially if you roll another smite on that guy and render him dead.
I do think the big guy like we can handle. But what the concern point for me is just that our life is pretty low.
Oh yeah,
Fine.
he'll be fine.
I mean, I'm not worried about the ash thing. I don't think it can sort of get into
Yeah.
the wind. So I'll just sort of stay hidden and you guys can fuck things up.
Yeah, the wind was sick, by the way. That was a really
Very
good,
cool.
Absolutely.
very good read.
Such a good play.
I'm very much in
Ash guy. Oh, good.
I'm very much in that OD&D swords and wizardry mindset of like, how would I get rid of an ash monster? I roll on it hard. Yes, that should work.
We need to get faster so I can get spells for two things. Instead of just one paladin spells, like purified food and water.
I thought one of paladin's spells was to turn them into smite.
You ain't wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
Really, you're just asking for bigger smites.
Yeah, right?
Bigger
like
and
bigger smites. It's flavorful to do a non-smite thing once in a while. It lures your enemies into a false sense of security. When you like cast another spell, and then you're like, oh, I gotta win this fight. Okay, smite.
Spells for the flavor, smite for the win.
I wonder, I mean, if there's a chance this ash guy can be, negotiated with.
You should try that.
I'm just wondering if they could give us some information about what this is and why.
What the heck is going on?
Yeah, it sound like they've been here for a while.
I definitely don't know where we are. Like, I guess physically in space, I get it, but like, what is going on?
Yeah, I have no idea why any of this is here. What is this dragon guy? Yeah, with you.
I mean, we are in the ruins of a giant civilization.
What are they doing in this tower? Why is there a door in this tower? I mean, I guess giants.
Why is there a door in the tower? Because giants need doors to walk through.
Yeah, I honestly was picturing much larger giants.
Yeah, like in the it's a medium-sized creature door.
They said it's a giant-sized door, so maybe the giants are just large.
No, this looks like a giant. This is at least a 10-foot wide door.
Oh, I see. I understand. Nope. that
Well,
makes sense.
width-wise, you know. Okay. How tall is it, though?
I'm gonna assume 10 feet, which for a giant is actually not super big.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, all right, you know, what were they?
Well, it depends on which kind of giants, because like hill giants are smaller than like frost giants.
Mm-hmm. Aren't these? There's like a storm giant involved somehow here.
I wouldn't. I mean, we're very high up. I wouldn't be surprised if.
Oh, he told us the story last time. I should have.
Yeah, but I don't know if the type of giant.
I thought he had mentioned something about some type of giant.
Maybe.
It don't matter.
Is there like a chart I can roll on for this lingering injury I'm about to sustain? Or is that like something Zach has?
I think that's a GM roll.
It might be in his like doc list in Google Drive.
Ah, okay, I found it. Determined by what type of damage did I receive in my core? I guess piercing.
Probably.
It says piercing.
When the feasting, when I'm feeling sad.
Ah, but there's no chart for piercing damage. Oh, wait, here we go. Cut and stab, slashing slash piercing. Here we go. Okay.
And I'm feeling so bad.
I need to make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. Alright. Here we go. I'm just DMing myself now. Here we go. Oh, you saw that. Fuck a critical injury. I am Bungo the Unbreakable.
When I'm feeling sad, I simply remember things. And when I don't feel so bad,
Oh, dad things. How's weather for everybody?
Terrible. I shoveled my driveway twice today.
How much snow did you get, right?
No?
Oh, well over a foot.
Yeah, it said Fitchburg got like 18 inches, which is basically
Yeah.
you got, right?
Yeah.
Ah.
And it's like heavy, wet snow.
It's like we're at the temperature where it is just barely capable of being snow. Like it's just cold enough to be the most wet, miserable snow possible.
Oh.
And actually in Boston we got absolutely no snow.
No, it just rained all day over
Alright,
there.
yeah.
It's
So how many
great.
miles away from you am I, Ray? Like 30 miles away?
Something like that. It's not very far.
No, and we just got literally like just nothing. It's just like rain and windy all day.
Like
Wow,
the snow drift next to my car was up to it was going up the driver window on the side of my car. Like just from the snow drift from like the wind blowing up against the snow up against the side of my car. Like I had to dig out like 3 feet of snow all around my car. It was fucking terrible.
Damn. Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're finally coming out of ours. Yeah, we've been getting tons of snow, and then now it was up almost in the 50s today.
Nice. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I know that in like 2 days from now, this is all gonna melt. Like, it'll be 50 degrees.
So
What? Wait. I'm gonna try to take it downstairs. Okay. I mean, could try to play with it. Let's try. All right, we got the new recruit with us a little bit. Hopefully he stays a little not too fussy. All right. So I heard Bunga. Woof. Excellent. Voyage. Oh, I can't hear Bunga. It's not on my end. Sure. Anyone else talk? Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I can still hear the music. Start Discord the camera. Oh boy. Maybe switching. No.
It back over and over again is like, okay, 03, let's go again. 03, go again. 03, go again. It's like, probably shouldn't be doing that.
Oh.
Do you have a little baby sling for
We
Damien where he can just kind of, hang out and drool from the front of you?
we do, but sometimes it gets more fussy than it's worth.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, Bungo makes his epic success against that charge. The Dracotor skeleton is nearly falling apart. So, Varanus is gonna come forward and he's like, it would be good once in a while to use a bludgeoning weapon against a skeleton. It couldn't hurt. Flanking position is staff and shield. And it's 2 to this.
Oh,
Oh! And he just crits and crushes. Sorry, that was anticlimactic for the out of session NPC to get him, but you know, just in time.
Whatever.
I got you, Bungo!
Teamwork is never anticlimactic.
Yeah. Got him there, Ernest.
So the skeletal creature collapses in a heap, while a radiated, burned heap of charred, cracked bone. But is the first mate who is now closest to the ash spirit and also wielding holy symbol. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, don't forget you do have the general ability, channel divinity,
Yes.
right? And usually, channeling your own deity's power, but
Sure.
maybe you could try
I mean, yeah, I think
if you wanted to.
I do trust Bungo's bardic instincts maybe more than he does. That this plate does something. So now seeing that I'm like turning around and seeing the like dust cloud over there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like maybe this plate can do something. I don't know. I guess I just want to like look at it and see if I can understand it. Maybe like a religion check.
Yeah.
Figure out what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, roll it up for sure.
Okay. Well,
Oh
21
my
nat
goodness, look at that. Okay. So not only is this a holy symbol of Baldor, right, god of light and the sun, everything like that, but it seems to also bear a a uniquely stylized version of his usual holy symbol icon. Um, and this one contains a a spire that reaches up towards the heavens. Though that is finite. It is not supposedly the giant spur. It seems a spire that is reaching towards the heavens and parting some clouds with the sun, sort of a light as a beacon, behind this spire. So it's Baaldor's holy symbol, but um, you actually came across this. Well, where would you have come across some sort of obscure piece of lore about a holy order? Where would Kylam have come across such?
Is this like a quiz if I remember the campaign, or is
No,
this
this
a
is
bardic
a you make it up.
Okay, thank you. Good, I like those much better.
Yeah.
There was like an envoy, like an ambassador from there that came to my village when I was younger and in training. And they tried to like sort of talk and preach a little bit and talk to the elders, and I wasn't super privy to what they were talking about. But obviously it was a big scene, not a lot of outsiders in an elvish village. And I remember it strongly. I don't. What are like the practices?
So right, it
this
is.
group?
Yeah, it is. They were known as the Knights of. Sorry, Knights of the Spire.
Sort of
So
militaristic.
yeah, so they were a more militaristic paladin, paladin-centric organization.
Yeah.
But they were known to sort of hunt out evil, right? And so yeah, you're along with what the captain suggested before. You think the knights maybe came here and tried to destroy as much evil as they could, or thought they destroyed all the evil or something, but
maybe they like left this plate here as a way of symbolizing that they had been here and cleansed it.
right, but maybe some evil remained or returned. in the meantime.
Do I think the plate has any sort of functionality? Like any weapon? Is it a weapon against evil, or is it just a sigil of theirs?
Well, no, it is a sigil, but it's a, hefty, like, pure golden symbol. Like, it's 100 gold pieces. You
Sure.
estimate, like, hefting it. So it's a very just like probably very pure and blessed one. But who knows how long it's been here, right? Magic could have worn off, or it could have just been like a ceremony was used to put it in place. But once it was sort of removed, disturbed, the magic was broken.
Well, that's a big lesson, but it's not going to help Omar and Sweetness with the dust monster. It seems like.
Well, I mean, you never know. Sending divine energy through it.
Okay, so maybe it would do something if I.
Right. You just don't. Yeah. I guess you've never tried it before, so you don't know.
Sure. Well, I think to myself, it worked for them last time, right? And I tap into my connection with the gods, and I'm like, all right, you're up. Whatever the name of this god was.
Bealtor.
Bealtor. You're up, Bealtor. And I channel divinity through it.
All right. So how do you present the holy symbol in a certain way towards the spirit, or
Yeah, I'm assuming that I'm holding it like this, like it's like I'm picturing like a beam shooting from it, and I don't know, have any reason to think that's what's gonna happen, but that's what I'm picturing happening, and I'm sort of holding it up accordingly.
No, let's say that does happen, and as the beam sort of lances out from the holy symbol and strikes this ash creature, however, you and it need to make a charisma contest.
All right.
So you're gonna roll charisma.
Gotta be more charismatic than that thing.
I don't know. Maybe it was talking earlier, right? Like it
It's
seems
like
to make
in
it
my
pretty.
previous life, I
Let's
had
go, Kylo.
show business.
All right. So charisma check, I assume.
Can I shoot a bardic inspiration over to him?
It is out of turn.
It is.
Do you want to spend a story point on
I
it?
probably used a reaction for silvery barbs this round.
True. So you don't even have
I'll just go for it. You're busy
All right.
barbing, insulting a weird undead monster for some reason. Okay, so I may have rolled a 1.
So you try to channel the powers of this god Baal, or this god of light, this beacon of purity, and maybe it's the foul influence of this place. But as your radiant beam strikes the ashen form, the ashes just part, and the beam glides harmlessly through the creature, and then you hear a chorus of laughter coming from it.
Wow. You know what? That's on me for trusting the wrong god.
Yeah, you never know. Using other gods' holy symbols might be cause for smiting. You on the receiving end, depending on your god. You never know.
Mine is a jealous god.
You took the chance. You did. Yes, and the spirit, as in one mocking, or the chorus of mocking voices said, "The magic was once strong here, but no longer. Not with the ruckus now coming from above. You will all meet your doom, crushed ground under the stone.
Wow. I think not.
Okay.
I don't think we all will. I think some of us might. We can compromise.
Yeah. Well, and that's just when Bolo Tintugger puffs and puffs his way. You know, he's carrying these big mechanical wings all the time, like strapped to his back. You know, they're folded up, but you know, they give him quite a load, and you know, his climbing, even with his climbing gear, he's been huffing and puffing, but he finally makes it. And he says, "Oh, what the hell is that thing?" For goodness, Bungo, you look like you could use a little bit of a pick me up, and he's gonna shoot you a healing word.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Why, thank you. Feeling better already.
I don't know what this thing is or what I could do against it, but I've got a special contraption. That will do something. Who's he gonna give it to? Guess he has to touch it. No, he's got an expert. We'll see. All right. So yeah, Bungo, give me a D4. So he throws this little contraption at you, which starts to spiral through the air.
What kind of roll? Sorry.
D4.
D4. Okay. Three.
Oh, your walking speed is increased by 10 feet for 1 hour.
Neat.
So this thing careens into your legs
Only
and jams
walking?
you. Well, that's your base speed.
Okay.
Your walking speed
Can't run
is.
faster.
Yeah, you can run equivalently faster.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
so this thing jams you, right? It jams into your leg, and that's what injects some sort of like healing serum, right? That's what makes you feel better with the healing word. Yeah, and you suddenly find you can move your legs like much faster, but just your legs, yeah, for the moment. Ah, not a problem, not a problem. But always good to help. All right, Captain, keeping up his needs to make another injury saving throw, DC 10, Constitution.
You got this, Captain. There's
Oh,
some
boy.
weird fun in there.
2 fails. Wow.
Might have to perform surgery right here.
Yeah, and well, what do, Omarin?
Omarin is going to
Bleeding out. This is like what you're doing.
Yeah, no, this is bad.
Okay.
Omarin.
Is he thirsty?
Oh, I guess I am thirsty.
Oh yeah, we are both very thirsty.
Oh right, you're still very thirsty. That's right.
Do you want me to roll a survival to see if I have like a water skin?
No, if well.
Can you conjure water?
Yeah, I can just create water.
Or yeah, create, conjure, whatever.
Yeah, roll a survival to see if you have any water by that means, and if not, yeah, you'll have to create some. Oh yeah, you always have a little bit reserved.
Yeah.
Smart captain.
Well,
all right.
I don't. See, Captain, I'd really like some water.
Now,
Zach, I'll just throw it to you, Zach. If I were to turn into an animal, would I still bleed out?
yes.
Okay.
So you of course gain a pool of hit points, right, from the animal, but this isn't a hit point bleeding effect. This is like just the critical injury itself is taking its toll. So turning into an animal, yeah, it gives you hit points, but I'll still say
it's basically a transfusion, yeah, right?
Right.
You get more blood.
Yeah, but you're still losing a lot.
You're still losing it. Yeah.
But does Omarn, how many sources of liquid does he have on his person? Because you have to choose randomly if several sources are close by. So if you've got potions and things, you might randomly grab one of those instead.
I have a single healing potion, so I guess I can like R1D2
Yep, 50-50. High or low?
high for water. Nope.
All right, well, you get a healing potion too.
I do get a healing potion. What is that? 1D.
2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
Which unfortunately is magical healing, so that triggers the injury's chance of infection in the future.
Okay.
It does seal the wound, so you do stop bleeding from that magical healing, so you're no longer in a chance of passing out. But yeah, the heal, the flesh itself knit itself back together, but the wound was not properly cleaned right before doing so.
So I need to, might have to reopen you.
Maybe.
Cut out the infected tissue.
Okay. Anything for your action?
Drinking the potion was not my action.
No, that's just to use an object, so you get a free one of those. Yeah.
Then I will cast. I'm gonna move to. I'm gonna basically like walk to here. And oh fuck, I still can't hit it. Okay, I am just going to walk to there. Get closer to this thing.
Approaching, yes, the ash spirit. All right, sweetness.
Constitution?
Constitution.
All right. First fail.
There you go. So your speed is halved for this round as well. Yeah.
Great.
So yes, you're starting to feel now, right? The blood has seeped through your quick bandages, right? Is now flowing a little bit more freely down your legs.
What would it? I mean, would this be something where would it just be absurd for me to start trying to, I don't know, patch myself up in a more robust way, like maybe?
No, if you want to start self-surgery,
myself up.
Yeah, you could. I
I'm
would say
what I kind of picture happening is him realizing that this is pretty serious and maybe sort of, scooching around the pillar real quick and then,
sure.
ripping his pants leg open and getting his kit and like, all right, I'm gonna just take care of this before I pass out.
Me, well, you can either use your surgeon's tools, but I'll say that's disadvantage since that's more just a more like in-depth kit, right? You've got more tools to go through, right? Just a lot more, right, to deal with in this situation versus just you could make a medicine check as normal.
Does the medicine check still give me a chance of what's it called? Like could that still seal up the wound well enough?
Yes. So this check is just to, to stop the effects of the current effects of the critical injury.
This is tough.
Or the lingering injury.
I have an 8 with surgical tools, but only a 4 with a medicine check.
Roughly, the math works out that that's equal.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So
then for flavor, I'm gonna go surgical tools.
All right. Breaks out his surgeon's kit.
And all right, here we go.
Disadvantage.
Wow. I am rolling poorly. Would have been actually worse if I guess the first one of those rolls was inevitable.
Yeah, unfortunately, right, you're a little worried, right? You haven't done this too many times on yourself.
Right,
Uh,
well, and I've probably not done it too often in the heat of battle.
right. Or, if you have, it's been on others, generally. And
Yeah,
so
sure.
trying to work at odd angles, uh, no, it's a little tough. Um, you do still
Sorry.
have your bonus action.
I'll use it to find the right tool. This time. Could I use it in some way to not have disadvantage the next time?
Um,
Uh, Help myself?
Not necessarily help yourself, but I'll say if you spend both bonus actions this turn and next turn, just to take time steadying your nerves, right? You can make your next surgeon's check as without disadvantage.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Why not?
All right. Um, Bungo, I was just thinking, wouldn't it be funny to use this little heat metal spell on Kylam and his armor? We've taken care of the main threat. Wouldn't it be funny if you dance around in hot shell for a little bit? This is Magnus speaking to you in your head.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Magnus, I mean, as funny as it would be, the feels like this is a powerful magic. So it seems like a little overboard.
Oh, you can take it. Look at him. He's haven't been scratched. Wouldn't it be funny to just make this little elf dance on his toes for a little bit?
I
Just
mean, undeniably so, but I just it's it's a long adventuring day. I've only got so much magic. It's doesn't seem like a good idea right now.
hmm. um. Well, all right. Fair enough.
This is uncharacteristically violent suggestion from Magnus.
Magnus, I thought we were bros.
I wonder if this place is affecting his spirit.
Perhaps. Perhaps. All right. Well, the spirit then moving away from that whirlwind
Mm.
comes in. Well, for you, Bungo,
Oh shit!
comes in with an ash sweep. Oh, it's a
Oh my!
crit.
Holy shit! Holy shit! So much
20
damage.
fire damage.
Oh.
And dexterity saving throw, if you please.
I do please.
Any reactions or anything?
No, fuck it. I've only got one
I
spell slot left.
made the saving dexterity save,
I
so
did. I did.
great. But that was still again a
20 damage.
threatening critical injury, so you need to make another Constitution saving throw against this.
Oh, never mind.
Wow. All right,
The
Bungo.
unbreakable.
Bungo down to 1 hit point after that first ash sweep. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw, and normally you would have advantage on this save, but due to circumstances, you do not.
Okay, so just normal.
Yes, intelligence save.
Oh!
Wow.
Bow, bow, bow! Come on!
All right.
Wow.
Your mind, right? You feel like almost this rage almost quell up inside of you. But this is your story, and you know it. And this thing, thinking it had finished you with just that one fiery sweep, moves towards Kylam. Uh, do you have a melee weapon out?
Yeah, I've got a longsword.
But was it drawn?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So yeah, he can go.
All right. So he moves past, now reaching out towards Kylum after that vicious sweep on Bungo, looking to press.
Ooh.
Good roll. And a dexterity saving throw, assuming you don't have something to interrupt. Oof.
Nice.
Oh, that was you. Okay, good. All
So
right.
just 9 fire damage for Kylum as this thing.
And over on that side, y'all are rolling well.
Did not perish.
Austin and I are having a hard time over on this side.
Boggles the minds. And Bungo, with that, you're teetering on the edge of consciousness. Some, mind influencing effects you can tell now have been like working on you, but you've been throwing them all off. Your body, it may be bruised and battered, but never broken. What do you do?
Do I have any sort of penalty for shooting a ranged spell at him because he's like engaged?
No.
Okay.
If you roll a natural 1, which, it's hard to do with your luckiness.
Sure, right.
Bad things might
okay,
happen.
well, I think it's time to trigger the power of the bull, as I will square up with this fucking ash spirit who's foolishly turned and put his back to me. I'm just like, hey, buddy, I didn't hear no bell, and I fire scorching rays.
Oh no!
God.
What was the one for?
Oh, lucky.
Lucky.
Oh,
Sheesh.
okay.
Lucky again.
Lucky. Wow. I think there's 3 scorching rays.
All 3 hit.
Nice.
So
19 fire damage.
Right. So as each blast, right, shoots out of the ruby eyes of the helm, striking this ash creature, you can see each time it strikes you burn away, right? Some of the ash chars to pure white and, disappears into a fine powder. But a lot of the fire damage seems to be just absorbed and dissipated.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. I will just boldly, strategically take a few steps back.
You think using fire against the burnt would be fruitful?
Now that you point it out, it feels stupid, right? Like, okay, point for you, Ghost.
You gotta like spray
The
water
friend
on it.
in your head
Yeah.
should have gone for the armored one. That would have been funny.
Should have what?
Wait, this dungeon really has it out for you.
Wait, what?
So it's Baron's turn. And he's like, well, my breath was already fire, so that's not going to help. Blur, no. Right, no. Firebolt, no. It's only one enemy. Thunder. Well, yes. Thunder waves. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Spell. Come on. Come on, Thunder Wave. Alright, well, I'll just put it there. Alright. So Thunder lances out. 2d8. This guy needs to make saving throw. Constitution. Fails. So Veritas blasts him with his thunder. Takes 9. And you can see this, this thunder damage like just ripples through the ash and just, shivers him, like just casting away ash everywhere. All right, back to the paladin.
Well, maybe stabbing this guy will work. That seems like a thing that might work. Aha!
That is a hit for sure.
I don't know why I did that twice. Seems a little weird. Oh, I know why. So ignore the top one. Not the
Oh, I see.
I see what I did.
All right, your magical piercing blade slices through the ash, and you can see its surprise as it sinks deep and gashes through its form. And this being the first time you actually hit it, and you're up close with this thing now, your divine senses can tell it is demonic. It has
you know what
foolish
that means.
energy.
You know what that means, everybody. Wait, it's fiendish? Yeah, fiend. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Double checking. I think what it's gonna mean is smite, in case you missed the thing. No, undead or fiend. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Divine smite level 1.
All right.
Not to sneeze at.
That's fine.
8 more. Yeah. All right, so your holy light again like blasts through this thing, but it's sort of non-coherent form, right? Makes it hard to tell how much you actually affected. But I mean, you did full damage. I'm not saying I had resistance, but
And I also will stab it again.
okay. This time your offhand passes in a hole through a hole in the ash, and you still have a bonus action due to new rules. So
yeah, but now
if
I
you
have
have
to like,
anything,
remember what my bonus actions are. So who really
okay.
got the buff here? I guess I have spells and stuff, but I don't really want to use them because they're.
Well, and then there's a list of bonus actions you could do, right?
There are 3. Yeah, they in the martial actions brace, where you choose a specific enemy, and so you basically gain +2 or +5 AC against them depending on your current defense level. Take a general defense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I choose the specific enemy.
All right, you're bracing.
Yes, I am.
Great. So we're gonna bracing is pink, or sorry, level 1 of defense is pink, level 2 is yellow, and then -1 is orange, and -2 is red. Or -5 is red, sorry. Anyway, that's just the system we're working with now. So you're a little braced against any further attack from this guy.
That's great. I feel braced.
Yes. Again, this would be a case where bracing adds to your armor class, but doesn't add to your armor reduction value because,
Right. Okay.
All right. Bolo comes up, and he's like, "Oh, well, I don't really know what to do against this thing, but
Hopefully your answer isn't light Kylo on fire.
well, I think Bungo needs another little healing word here. So, Bungo, you're doing great. You can get back in this fight. We need you. So 5 healing from him, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Get up to this ash spirit, and he takes his heavy wrench that he carries around, and he's like, "Be gone, you devil!" Hits. All right. Doesn't do much because of damage reduction. But he's like, "Yeah, I got it." And contribute. All right, the wind is raging around the captain, who has used healing, or his potion of healing, staunched his wound for the moment, just in time.
I'll drink some water, just because I have to.
Well, you already drunk the potion, which counted, and you're no
perfect.
longer thirsty. Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of which, sweetness, you didn't drink anything, did you?
I did forget.
Maybe that's why you messed up with your tools
that's
too,
right, yeah.
right? You were parched.
So Omarin is gonna like hop over this little crevasse here, use some thorn whip action. Did that go through?
Uh,
oh my god, I'm not. Oh, what the fuck is that? There we go. Hang on. Oh my god, it's failing. Why is it failing?
Oh, there it goes. Well,
Thorn whip.
there we go. 18 is a hit.
And I will choose to pull it towards me,
nice.
and it will dissipate in the wind.
Ooh, indeed. So, the captain, right, coming up within this whirlwind, right, churning around you, you just lash out with this whip of kelp. Has these piercing, barnacles and crabs, that latch on to as much dust as possible. Magic makes it work. As you reel it in towards yourself, and you can see the spirit is being ground up against your wind radius, right? You're pulling it in on your kelp lasso, right? But it's being ground against. So why don't give me a caster level check. Or, sorry, not caster level. Casting ability. Just a wisdom check, I guess.
A caster ability check. I will give you a wisdom check. Nope, not great.
Ooh. Alright, so you try to manipulate the spell in a new way, trying to just sort of like hold him in place and grind him down. But he's able to sort of slip free, and he sort of just gets tossed towards the towards the center of the cavern.
Got it. Lauren will say, "We have him for a few rounds. Heal yourselves and prepare."
Nice. All right. Damien's getting a little cranky again, so sweetness, you can make your critical injury roll and do your other rolls.
Roll survival for water.
Sure.
Okay. Well, first, 18. So just the first of this.
Nice. All right. So, yeah, you continue to resist the bleeding.
Survival. I have some
All right.
water?
You saved enough water. But do you have other sources of liquid on you, including unguents?
I have to drink those too?
It's random. You go.
Oh, okay. I do have a healing potion.
And I'll say you have like your just like iodine or whatever in your kit. That might be a thing too.
I might have to drink some medicine.
Yeah,
some like
exactly.
cleaning reagent.
Yep. Let's say a D4 for. So 1 is water, 2 is healing potion, 3 and 4 are random medicinals. All right, the healing potion it is. Look at that.
Now, is that going to close up my wound?
That will.
Fuck me! Come on, this is stupid. Yeah.
But because you're giving yourself surgery this turn, right?
I'm gonna recut myself open. What?
Well, I'll say, you drink the healing potion last on your turn, right? You continue trying to redo your surgery, and you finish off after you're quenched.
So I'll just roll the healing potion now because it's 2d4 plus 2.
It's +2, right? And roll your surgery check.
47, and then I'll roll my surgical
Surgeon's
tools.
tools.
Come on, had a few good rolls. Let's have one.
All right, come on.
All right.
Hey, there you go. All right, so although the healing, at the end of it, right, you close the wound, you sanitize it, you're like, oh, I think I've got it all, and that's when you quench your thirst with the healing potion that seals up the wound, or seals up the thing.
I'm alive!
All right, and at that proclamation says, "Yes, aren't we all? Perhaps your earlier suggestion."
I didn't see this guy was over here.
Yes, oh yeah, he was blown over that way. Perhaps your earlier suggestion to parlay might not be such a bad idea. Perhaps you could all benefit from my knowledge. I have been here a long time. Many things.
Wow.
So, we'll take a short break.
For this sec, just before you go, I realized I probably should go early today.
Oh, okay.
So I don't
What
know.
early
I don't
is
have to
it?
go right now, but I was
Okay.
thinking 10. I could do a little after 10, something like that.
All right. Well, he's fussy, but we can manage. We can manage. All right. So we can push ahead then.
No, you can. I mean, I don't. Whatever. You guys.
It's
can do the
okay.
whole thing. I can leave now.
He's actually getting closer to sleep. Yeah. All right. So, so this ash spirit seems to offer, well, a choice, and then it floats back towards this giant door again, which is 15 feet wide and about 30 feet tall. So it did accommodate giants at some point. I heard that speculative discussion.
Yes.
Yeah, how big's this giant, huh?
Now, granted, it's not the biggest giant door ever. But so this ash spirit or demon, as Kylam now recognizes, gestures towards the door. You see, I was once a treasure hunter like yourself, burned by the very runes you see etched into the door to protect the giant's treasure beyond. What must it be to have such formidable enchantments? I do not know, but that is but one piece of information I could help give you is how to bypass this door without becoming ash yourselves. Plus many things that happen above its fire. Could be yours to learn as well. Just simply toss that golden disc off the side of the spire.
Guys.
Okay, wow. It sounds like a pretty nice guy.
Yeah? Does he?
You think so?
Guys, I'm questioning Sweetness's judgment.
What else is there?
Sorry, guys. I just drank a bunch of iodine. No, what I think I'm not even really sure, because I kind of jumped into the fray before we even got this holy symbol. So I think maybe you hear Sweetness yell. It's like, what's he talking about?
Well, this here is the holy symbol of somebody. I will never remember an NPC's name.
And that's why it didn't work.
Yeah, right. You couldn't even remember his goddamn name.
Bayaldor.
Sort of he's a god with an order of paladins who roam the world scourging evil, which makes me think that if this guy doesn't like his holy symbol, I mean, the word evil is thrown around lightly in modern society, but like, he may qualify.
Okay.
Just because one is evil doesn't mean one is untrustworthy.
Makes a fair point.
Yes, he does.
Does he make a fair point?
No, he doesn't. That's a terrible point.
I'm not convinced that that's a terrible point. You could be evil and still be trustworthy to your friend. This is a Plato. I'm not even going to argue this. Plato already showed this thousands of years ago.
Who's ever heard of a Play-Doh?
I'm not a kid. I don't play with Play-Doh.
And Plato doesn't exist in this world, so.
But the form of
All right,
Plato
let's
does.
fuck him up.
Well, it is Bungo's turn technically next. He has the first opportunity to act against this thing. If that is the question. If that is the initiative you're taking.
Where did it go?
It is towards the west.
Oh, I see.
by
By the door.
door. But to be clear, right, it has offered you the ability to pass beyond this door into whatever treasure that has undiscovered for however long. That apparently burnt lots of people or things in the past. Including, well, maybe this guy himself.
Yeah, but then within this is like classic spirit bullshit. He's gonna be like, "Oh, you gotta get this treasure behind this door," and then it's like we're gonna get it, and we're just gonna be the next ash monsters who are sitting here for 500 years, waiting for some other idiot to come along, so we can trick them into using magic items.
But what about the things I know above? You are climbing the spur for a
We
reason,
are
are you
sort of
not?
out of our depth here, guys. You know, or above it. I'm not really sure.
You have no reason to trust this guy.
We could always kill him after.
Information is a reason, don't you think?
Anyway, I started blasting.
Nice.
Ooh.
I mean,
All right, well, I got lucky.
it made for effort.
Oh, goodness. How do I get out of this?
Nice try.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way that my pure hobbit heart, armed with knowledge of bardic wisdom, will ever trust anything this fucking ash monster says.
Yeah, he is setting off a
Yeah,
couple red
that's.
flags.
All right. Well, yes. Unfortunately, your shot smashes. Oh man, you rolled a 1 and then a 2. Man, your lucky is saving you. Also
Yeah, no
on
kidding.
firearms, I didn't consider that. Halflings are imbalanced when it comes to misfiring firearms.
Bro, I'm so lucky that my gun never jams.
Yeah, no
That
kidding.
seems right to me.
All right. Well, the bullet careens just straight through this ash creature into the solid granite of the giant door beyond, and just barely causes a scratch.
Well, look, maybe I didn't damage him, but I mostly wanted to cut off his twisted lies with a loud bang noise.
Yeah, shut up! Bang!
All right. Fairness. Let's see. He's totally immune to fire if I can get Avernus. He's gonna get over here and ready in action. He's gonna ready his fire breath if that thing comes. All right, back to Kylan.
Well, I will hold up the holy symbol of
Bealdor.
Bealdor. Thank you. Could you write that down in the chat?
I think I did last time.
Oh, sure, but I more than once. More than once. Let's be clear.
Just keep
Every
spamming.
time, right before Mark goes, yeah, Baldor.
I'll hold it up. I'll be like, Fiend, you fear the symbol of Bealdor. Why?
It's not the symbol itself that we fear. No, it was the intent with which it was placed. Trap our residue.
Do these seem like, enough ashes to make a giant? Quick calculation in the head.
that would
I'm
take an
okay,
investigation
mass reduces
check.
roughly at this rate to this much ash. This much ash would roughly amount to this much body.
It's hard to say, but these, like, the pots and urns that were around the side, and, like, these things seem like they were brought or done after the giants built this place. So while, yes, the original structure, right, is this giant cavern, it is it was eventually reused.
Okay.
But how about we strike a bargain, Yefine? We will not be destroying or tossing away this symbol, but we will be taking it with us. So, if you guide us safely through here and then we leave, we'll take it with us and you'll be free from its influence.
Yeah, you tell him, Kylan.
But, if we die and, like, get blasted by some death beam or whatever, obviously it'll still be here.
That is satisfactory to us.
So you were saying something about crossing through a doorway safely.
Yes. So, in order to do so, well, you must first open it. The safety of the door was a little ploy on my part.
Oh, was it?
Oh,
was it now?
Oh, my God.
Yes, there's nothing really wrong with the door.
I thought so.
Behind the door? Is it a trap? Is there a trap behind the door by any chance?
No, but well, the influence of the ashes of Gilderoth. You saw what it did to the Dracator. There is a giant interred within, along with fine possessions and so forth.
Okay.
But it is now an undead giant.
My God.
That I cannot help, and nor was it my fault.
Sure, okay. I wasn't thinking that, but now I am.
Hey, I could have gone in there, had summoned it, and cutting it out to beat you while you're dealing with that Minotaur skeleton thing.
Well,
I just wanted to see if you were capable of striking a deal by first defeating the Minotaur.
right. Well, apparently we have passed your test. But if you want us to get this relic out of here safely, you should let us know if there's any more traps, if there's any more weird nonsense dust monsters or anything.
Otherwise, we're gonna attack it right to the wall.
No, no more dust monsters.
All right.
But I will suggest, if you do go in to face the creature and loot everything within, although fire is a weakness for it, it also will burn away much of what is valuable. For you see, this giant was wrapped in sheaves of spelled scrolls. And so although it is, yes, fire will easily burn it away and defeat a lot of its constitutional magics, it will also burn away the potential value of the scrolls.
I did that once when I was a kid. They were featherfall scrolls, and I didn't touch the ground for a week. All right. Well, I guess it's time to journey on through the doorway. So yeah, I think that's it. I kind of want to get out of initiative order and just
Yeah, we can drop initiative.
Can we remove my little injury thing?
Yes.
Thank you.
Go. Do you guys want to take time for a rest at all before you enter, or is Kylam?
I'd like to.
Yeah, I think we should, but also I think now might be the time for me to head out.
Cool.
So
Fair enough.
the Kylam will take a back seat for this particular leg of the adventure.
Cheers, Mark.
See ya.
All right. Yeah.
How about
Thanks for playing. Of course, that's right.
if we also take a rest, yeah, I could take that opportunity to maybe. I don't know, Austin, sort of what you have in mind here. If Omaran's just going to. Do we know that healing wounds, like serious injuries in this way, it's better to do it?
Right. Exactly.
Do we know that?
Mm-hmm. You, especially you, right? You've seen what sort of magical healing, say,
Well, yeah, maybe when I approach the captain, there's a moment where I sort of see that the wound is no longer seeping, and maybe I even
Like, cut it open and drain it and bandage it up.
If you're open, yeah, I was like, Captain, I think I should probably take a look at that. I might have to reopen you up.
Do it.
All right, so I give him some cloth to chew on, or bite down on, and yeah, I if we're taking a rest, I'll do that. Should I roll for it?
Yes. You can make a surgeon's check.
Ugh. Not been my day for rolls.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe because Omaran,
it's already healed some.
Right, it's already healed some. The wound bled profusely, so you don't want to risk opening him up again, right? Because he just lost so much blood. So yeah, it's a tough one. So yeah, basically the injury, is healed enough, but you don't know if you'll be able to prevent infection, which we'll see what happens at the end of his next long rest. Condition. All right, so yeah, Omaran, well, low hit dice. If you would like, we could assist you against this creature in the next room. But of course, we would burn away those valuable scrolls.
So he's suggesting that that he come in to help us fight whatever's next?
That's what he says.
Wow. I mean, I take it we're all feeling pretty curious about what's on those scrolls. I particularly imagine like someone like Varanus would be. I picture him sort of, chiming in and being like,
Yes.
history hidden in those rooms is much too valuable. You've done your part by letting us pass.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Fair response. I guess his breath weapon's over. All right, so let's get some music on here. All right. Oh yeah, during that rest, did anyone? I guess Varanus could, because he's pretty strong. I guess. Yeah, recover the halberd that is lodged in the leftover stone column.
Oh, like go examine it?
Well, or
try to
remove it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If people want it, I mean, I'm down to go help grab it.
I think Bungo and Varanus could help each other. Two are the strongest characters.
Sure.
All right. Why don't you roll with advantage?
All right. Was an athletics test?
Yeah. Yeah. See if you can wrench that halberd free.
Here we go.
No.
Dang it.
It got pretty well gorged in
good.
there. Yeah. Well, you might need to figure out a way to get it out if you want it. Because a halberd, again, the halberd cuts so deep and seems to be perfectly intact. It does seem to have magic.
Magical blade, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we I mean, I've got like some ropes. I can do an old like sailor knot, like rig up
like a
rope
pulley
around the haft, and maybe we can like yank on the handle to kind of like wedge it out.
All right. Well. Yes. Okay.
Or maybe I'm wondering if we also maybe if there's some kind of magical. Does anyone have any of those weird like stone to mud spells on them?
Great question.
No, but if we could get some water down in there, I could shape water and turn it into ice, which might force the halberd.
Oh, like sure. If we poured like water like into around it, and you could sort of like crack it open with ice.
Yes.
That's an interesting idea. I like that. All right.
I could even create the water if.
Oh sure.
If
I don't want to waste my flask,
Turns out that water's valuable against ash spirits.
Yeah. All right. So Varanus, has some water, collect and rain, down into this broken column where the halberd is lodged, and then uses his shape water to freeze it. And all right, how about Bungo? Give me another athletics check with advantage, just to see if you can get it free, and there's another bonus on top of it.
All right, one more try.
All right, with the extra bonus, that the clever use of ice gives you guys, it is enough that the halberd screeches, grinds free, and you hear this thunderous crack, as the rock splits from the pressure of the ice. But Bungo, you heft the halberd in your, it's a very unwieldy for a halfling. But with the changes, actually, usually, or rules as written, small characters can't wield heavy weapons, which is what it's a property of a halberd. But I liked the dungeon coach's approach to that, which says you need a strength 15 or higher, which Bungo has. So Bungo, you can even weapons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you wanted to, you could wield this halberd in the future.
I'm interested, seeing
Assuming
as
you
how
have
I was so
martial
ineffective
proficiency.
against that creature before.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a magical weapon on me. None of my options are currently magic.
Hmm.
So yeah, if nobody is chomping at the bit to take this, I'll keep it.
But yeah, you might not have. Oh, what did you get? Martial, yeah, proficiency in it because you don't have martial proficiency in general.
Oh. Okay.
Maybe Mark would want this. I love that we've moved into the pike and shot era. Like we've moved past and now we're doing pike and shot. It's great.
Yeah, I could maybe see Mark being interested in it.
Or even, Varanus could wield it because he does have a leveling fighter as well. All right. Well, at least store it away. Future times.
Big little halberd to drag around.
Well, or it's loot to sell later, right?
Yeah.
For the ship. All right. Well, Kylum is going to take up, a defensive stance here at the door. Any other preparations?
Before sort of taking our right, or we're talking about before going in.
Yeah, before going in.
Yeah. I don't think so. I mean,
already in action.
I'll have my weapons out and ready.
Already in action, Zach. If there is any like dust monster fuckery, I will cast gust of wind and blow it back.
Oh, nice. All right. Who wants to open the door? I think this is the first of the interactive doors I've dropped in here. So someone
I'll
can
push
click
it
on
open.
it.
I opened it, but I don't see anything.
But it didn't work. Well, I guess I didn't use it right. Can you see in there?
No, I still don't see anything.
Don't see it.
There might just be fog of war.
Fog of war. Let's reveal some fog of war. See things. Well, here's to yours. Okay. Magnus can go through and see things.
I mean, yeah, we can.
Can you see? All right.
Yeah. Oh,
Do you see Bungo? Can you see yourself in there?
Yes, I can.
Nice. All right.
This looks inviting.
Yes. So this basically this small mausoleum opens up before you. Giant statues, right, towering 20 to 30 feet, have been carved into alcoves along the sides. The details sort of either left vague or worn away with time. There's a fine layer of dust in here. It doesn't appear to be ash in this room.
Actual dust here.
Right. This is just regular dust. As the giant stone door sort of ground aside, and well, Bungo, you don't have dark vision, do you?
No.
Right. So you actually do see from the bit of light that's just trickling in filtering in from the door, that's daylight out in the outside the crevasse, right? You get a little light in here, and you're able to see actually up above, 20 feet off the ground is a massive mosaic above the tomb here.
What does it show? Like,
it looks like a picture of the giant spur itself, stretching all the way from the sea into the astral plane above.
whoa, okay. I guess that's part of the lore of the tower, so that makes sense.
Yes.
Hmm.
You'd need to get a little closer, right, and with better light maybe for further investigation.
Well, I mean, I'll light up like a torch and come closer.
All right.
Is this, like this is tall enough I'd have to like climb up it, basically?
Oh yeah, that's like 10 feet tall, basically.
All right.
It's a sarcophagus. Seems to be plated in brass.
Okay.
With all sorts of designs around it.
Well, yeah, I will. I'll try and scamper up this then. Do I need to make
All
a
right.
check, or can I just?
No, you can do it, no problem. Is anybody
Alright.
else following Bungo in here?
Guys,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
found a literal giant sarcophagus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, do we have
Although,
torches or light?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
assuming
Well,
our adventure planets? Yeah, I'll light up a torch and.
Ilam's gonna stay sort of by the door, keeping an eye on the
Yeah, watch our backs.
demon. Yeah, fumbling or fingering the golden holy symbol, but of course, not planning on using it again anytime soon. It's like maybe. All right, so you scamper up on top of the tomb, now holding your torch up and examining this mosaic, and you see many of the mosaic tiles. Yeah, it's made out of like colored glass. So whoever made this took a lot of time and effort to make this, and it shines, especially if you brush back some of the dust with your sleeve and things like that. Give me an investigation check.
Bungo?
Oh.
Bungo or anyone else, if Sweetness
I'll
is
do
drawn
one,
to the mosaic.
Yeah, I
Or
think
you could be looking around at
I'll
other
join
things.
him and scamper up here, and we'll do a 26.
All right. Well,
Mr. Expert.
yeah.
Good.
Bungo, well, Sweetness is coming up, and Bungo, you're looking at it. You think it's very impressive, but you're not seeing anything specific, right? You're just like, wow, this is a really nice piece of art. But Sweetness comes up, and you notice that in the upper reaches of the spire, right? We already mentioned the spire seems to pierce into the overbright, right? This sort of like layer of the material plane. We talked about this with the cloud golems last time, right? They seem to be made of this more like solid type of cloud. which
Right.
exists in the Overbright. So it seems, yes, this a little bit below where the spire pierces into the cloud layers of the Overbright, you see almost a little like stairway sweetness that's leading up into some sort of hidden section of the spur. But it's all it's in a region farther than you guys are right now. Still, region still higher.
Does the mosaic sort of have any indication of where we might be?
It's no. Well, that investigation check. I mean, no. Yeah. See, this location, I guess, wasn't maybe not even important enough to put on the mosaic itself, or just not something that maybe they were catching it from a different angle or different side, right? And this doesn't depict whatever this tomb was.
Mm-hmm. So describe to me one more time. So we see stairs.
So you see, yeah, like almost like near the top of the spur, right, where it's just about to go into the Overbright. Of course, there's scale issues, right? But there's almost like this. You're like on your tiptoes trying to see and make out these tiny details, which are still a little bit tall, above your height. Yeah, you see almost what looks like a small almost hidden stairway cutting into the spur.
Sorry, I'm just typing that up. And that's as it enters the Overbright.
Yeah, or a little bit beneath. Yeah.
I relay this. I'm like, looks like there might be some kind of staircase up at the top right before the tower disappears in the astral plane. I can't say how far it is. I have no idea. How far we've. If I knew how far we'd come, maybe we can make some kind of scale projection.
Well, let's see. Well, yeah, it's hard to tell because this mosaic was, built before even Tide Watch, right, and the Pilgrims and everything. So, well, I'd say if you were to give your best estimate, it would probably say you're around 3/4, maybe a little less than.
Okay. Well.
To the next, to where that staircase might be.
All right. Yeah. So, as near as I can figure, we're maybe 3/4 of the way up.
Cool. Bungo, do you want to detect magic and see what shenanigans this room holds?
I absolutely do, but not because I'm looking for shenanigans, because I'm looking for magic treasure in this tomb.
So you take out the compass, right? And you're sweeping its magical needle around. And, well, you don't sense anything immediately magical. I mean, you do sense, basically, you sense a magical presence or a magical, some source of magic within the sarcophagus, but it's the faintest whiff because it's sort of blocked, right, by the sarcophagus itself.
Well,
you can tell
guys,
there's magic
we're gonna have
there.
to open this.
All right.
That doesn't seem particularly easy given its size.
We've got a giant halberd.
We also have like a dwarf who's like an artificer or something.
Polo. Polo, do you have any ideas for how to open this thing?
Well, I've got just the thing. and he pulls out this this almost like sack or pouch that has a little nozzle attached to it, and he's like, "Well, I'm not much for this treasure hunting stuff, but just squeeze this in, around the crack, where the lid meets the the body. It'll grease it right up."
All right. Grease it up.
Well, he's handing it to you because he's.
Sure, yeah. Well, I'll take it and I'll go around the edges and squirt it in. Giggity.
All right. You apply it. Make me a Why don't you make me a thieves' tools check?
Sure.
Dexterity. See how well you get all that secret sauce in there.
14.
All right, not bad. All right, so you wedge it in. Yeah, and you and Varanus, if you want to again, could
Yeah, let's give it a push.
do the honors. All right, well, is everyone else? What are you guys doing while they're preparing to open
Get
this
yourselves
thing?
into position in case a giant undead giant pops out of this.
Okay, I'm fucking ready.
I mean, do we have any way to like bar the door and never come back if there's a giant undead giant in here?
No?
Okay, does Varanus have knock or hold?
Hold door.
Yeah, what's it called? What's the stat spell
Arcane
called?
lock.
Yeah.
No,
lock.
but Bolo does.
Oh, hell yeah, Bolo.
Bolo's like, well, I'm good at keeping things secret and safe. My inventions can't be out in the world before I finish inventing them.
Wonderful. Let's do it.
So wait, now I'm gonna lock us in here?
No. Open the sarcophagus and then.
He's saying in case we have to run and lock the giant in.
I see. All right. Well, let me open the. Seems to be the time. And you can all, do your thing. Bolo. Sorry, I'm slow. I got one good arm.
All
yeah,
right.
no.
And
These ones.
yeah, that's wow. One of them was Bolo. One of them. All right. Well, basically, you and Bongo, you can make your athletics check with advantage, with extra bonus because the grease. You and Varanus prying it up. Maybe one of you has a crowbar because you have a thieves' tools kit, right?
Yeah.
Bongo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could use a crowbar. Varanus will use maybe the halberd.
Sure.
Get a little more leverage. And yeah, you guys heave. Luckily, with that grease in there, the lid crashes into the stone floor. And, billowing up a plume of old dust. And then you see a hand that is just completely encased in scrawled parchment glowing with arcane runes.
God.
It's like a giant mummy.
It is, in fact,
I think
what
it's
I...
literally.
Now we want the Ash guy to come.
what I called scrawled.
So how's that detect magic showing up on this thing now?
Oh yeah. Well, unfortunately, Bungo he has to sort of actively maintain his action to use the compass magic. So in order to lift the thing off, should show you his actions. Let's see. Close that text. Just look at the picture. All right. I was like, yay, more undead, except I used my last spell slot.
Expeditious retreat.
Wait, did we take a long rest?
No, short rest. Short rest.
Oh, we took a short rest. Oh, God.
That's back on a short rest.
Not spell slots. But fearlessly he strides forth, as drawing his twin swords and taking a defensive stance. Maybe he'll brace. That's what he'll do. He'll brace. Take his. Won't even brace. He'll use his action. Take a total defensive stance, drawing creature in towards himself. And the captain.
The captain is going to step outside the door, and then as a last little parting gift to this mummy, which is made of paper and presumably rather flammable,
Oh yeah.
he is going to cast a flaming sphere right on top of him.
All right.
Right next to him or whatever, and then he's gonna go run and hide behind the door.
All right. So yes, this.
Well, I guess I can grab the token if you want.
Well, it. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Flaming sphere.
Boink. Wow, that looks kind of puny, but we'll go with it.
Yeah. The flaming sphere rolls up. He needs a dex save, which he's not great at. So that's good. Yeah. So roll your sphere out. So you rolled your sphere damage, and because this mummy immediately, just some of the scrolls on its form burst into flame and start withering away. So he takes double damage from that fire. So he is vulnerable fire damage. But you also notice that some of the, or one of the spells that scrawled across them has been extinguished. Lost.
I click that.
Well, that's it. Okay. Wait. Oh.
Did it put me in?
No, it didn't. Huh.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought I clicked. I must have clicked next
Here.
to the initiative. And
That's
then...
okay. I added you manually. No.
Okay. Sorry.
17. That's fine.
Okay.
So, yeah. So then it's so Omarin, right? You summon this sphere of fire. The creature starts, letting out this deep, groaning sort of cry of alarm, but its bass voice just echoes throughout this chamber. Yeah, you're not sure what's gonna happen or how much you've angered this thing. So on that note, sweetness.
She said it seems to be vulnerable to fire.
Oh yeah, it's burning right up. But again, as the demon warned, you're losing potential loot as the spells that are scrawled across it burning
Yeah.
up with it.
Jesus. This guy looks big and scary. 1, 2. He's on top of that thing?
He's sort of in it and climbing out of it, right? So it's a sarcophagus. So he's like he's raised himself like halfway out. So he actually has like half cover.
Okay. I think I'm gonna actually maybe instead ready. Actually, I'll delay my turn. I want to wait till he's once he comes out.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be much use. I think.
This is like, oh, I'd rather not lose those spells. So instead, I will Dragon's Breath again, but this time be cold. Maybe I'll put out some of those fires. Alright, so Varanus Dragon Breaths, the spell, not his innate thing, and this guy needs another dexterity, nope, constitution save. Full damage. That was good. Alright, so Varanus's cold breath, freezing breath, passes over the creature, but it seems relatively unfazed. Why did Varanus jump there? Alright. Alright, sweetness. Sorry, skipped it.
And again, yeah, I'll keep delaying until he's out.
I see. Wait, that's alright. Brings us to Bungo. You are technically the closest to him. You can smell, although his corpse has been preserved for who knows how long, there is still that mustiness of long decayed flesh.
Is he wearing any metal?
In fact, he is wearing a big golden chain sort of
Okay.
across his chest. Yeah, it hangs down low. All
Love
right,
to see it, folks.
you're gonna heat some metal, causing. Right, so it takes 2d8 fire damage. All right, roll that up.
Oh, sure.
8, which translates to 16 for this thing's vulnerability. Right, burned away another scroll though.
And I'm gonna use my newfound 35-foot speed to run away.
All right, moving back, right, burning this thing. Sweet's still delaying. We're gonna allow this thing to get up fully. Yeah. Oh, you're muted, Blake.
Oh, I said I'm a melee. I'm not jumping into the tomb with him.
All right.
Into the sarcophagus. Yeah, I just don't see. I mean, and if he's got cover, then I'm just taking disadvantage on those.
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's a stupid move, but
Bungo, because of your brazenness, or your massive damage, right? Sorry. Creature holding awareness. Oh, so it needs to succeed in a Constitution saving throw in order to drop the object if it can. All right. So it rips off this golden chain, which is glowing red hot and like smolders, the spell scrolls that are covering its hand, and then it throws it.
Oh no.
Well, it throws it at Kylan.
Can I break my concentration as a reaction to this?
Sure.
So he'll still get hit by a chain, but at least he won't get hit by a hot chain.
Yeah. Which does hit Kylan. And say 3d6 bludgeoning damage. This is a hefty golden chain.
Good
Wow.
Lord. Ow.
But it hit Kylam's. It did a glancing blow, and Kylam has an AR of 7, I think.
Nice.
So he only takes 5. So Kyle, is defending himself from the chain attack, but it's kind of too much as Bungo. This thing's head turns unnaturally, to the side, look at you, and gives you a dreadful glare. And I need a wisdom saving throw from you.
All right. My best saving throw. Oh my.
But it is against fear, so you do have advantage because of halfling bravery.
Okay.
Which is enough. All right. So your knees, right, begin to turn to jelly as this thing stares you down, but you suddenly remember, like, this has been your day. This has been your moment. You're unbroken. Nothing's gonna stop you. So that happens, and then it disappears into fine mist.
Nani?
And it rematerializes in front of you, Bungo, just in time for big rotting fists to come at you.
Oh no! Well, that hits the fuck out of me.
Reactions?
I mean, I said that I used my reaction to cancel my concentration.
The reaction is, oh fuck!
Free action to cancel concentration.
Oh, is there? Okay, great.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Sure.
Actually. Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah, with advantage. So, you don't need it. All right.
Oh.
So, wow. Hey, Mark's back.
Just in time.
But
Hey, bud.
Okay. Yeah, right into the fray.
fighting a scrawled mummy.
Yeah.
What gave it away?
And be noted, fire damage has been particularly effective against it, but it has caused many of the magical scroll, or a couple of the magical scrolls so far, covering this thing to burn away. Which could be...
I am not a loot-driven character. So.
Right. I know. I'm just...
Fair. Good observation.
But Bungo, yes. Seems again to be... You seem to be like... there's this... What's little voice in the back of your head saying, like, oh, just let that golden chain stay heated while Kylam, suffers under it. Oh, yeah. Kylam, you got a hot golden chain thrown at you. Yeah. But it wasn't hot once it got to you, because Bungo stopped his concentration.
Sick.
But Bungo just got hit by a rotting fist.
Holy shit.
Ow. So Yeah, it's giant, right? This giant plants a fist. 30 damage.
That takes me to 0 exactly.
So I need another bludgeoning DC 15 injury check, as well as a DC 14 Constitution. So basically, 2 Constitution saving throws.
All right, there's the first one. Here's the second one.
All right. Say the first one's for the effect, and the second one's for the injury.
Sure.
So you don't take an injury, as always, Bungo the Unbroken, but you have been afflicted with mummy rot.
Oh no.
Yes, as this fist pounds you into the ground, so you are still stable and conscious, but you are basically flattened into the stone by this thing's fist, and you can feel your skin starting to almost like blister and peel back, like it's like rotting at a fast pace.
Kylam, I need to lay on hands, bro.
Well, this appears to say that it can't regain hit points, so I don't know if that's gonna help.
No. The fucking can't you use it to cure disease?
Oh, maybe, but this is a curse.
Mummy rot?
That is true.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's actually a curse and a disease, sort of like a lycanthropy, I believe.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, but it is a curse, that is true. A terrible curse. But yes,
Hey guys,
you are.
what happened to the plan where we were gonna run out and shut it in?
Well, we thought we could take it.
Oh, well we can. There's just collateral damage.
Yeah. So that's its turn.
That makes it my turn.